Do y'all remember when, and I'm 53 years old, right? But do y'all remember when we girls used to go outside and if we had on a dress or a skirt, we would always have like shorts on underneath? And if you have a mom like mine, she always made sure that you were dressed appropriately for the events, whether, you were going out to play with your friends or, you know, whatever the case may be. And I don't know why this crossed my mind this morning, but I was like, can we normalize that again? Can we bring that back to where we dress our girls appropriately and they're not showing everything and not dancing inappropriately and stuff like that? And it's to protect them. It's not to be, a mean mom or a mean parent or whatever, but it's just to protect them because pedophiles and rapists and people who collect child pornography, they don't know any better. They're waiting on a golden opportunity. They're waiting to seize the day. They want your little girls and your little boys. And if they see anything, like say for instance, a golden opportunity to take a picture of your child tumbling while they're, in their little, school skirt or their church dress, or, they see a group of, little girls or a group of girls and boys, playing on the playground. And maybe the skirt flies up and she doesn't have on a pair of shorts underneath, or something of that nature, anything that seems childlike. It may not cross our minds as inappropriate, but to the pedophile, I'm just saying, to the rapist, to the person who is in the business of child sex trafficking, this is a golden opportunity. And they're just waiting to seize the day. I was just wondering. I was like, what happened? What happened to those days? Because I remember a time when my mother would have lit into me 100 grand for being dressed inappropriately, for going outside looking crazy. Can we normalize, you know, dressing our kids appropriately, age appropriately? It doesn't mean that they don't have to be stylish. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, they can't have any bling or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that as children, they probably should be covered up a little bit. You know what I mean? They probably should be age appropriate. Probably should have a little bit of class and decorum, and that is not on them. That's on the parents. To dress your kids age appropriately and make sure that we as parents are doing everything we can, right? To ensure our child's safety. And instead of, oh, she's cute in this and, she's snatched or whatever, just let a 2 year old be a 2 year old. Let a 4 year old be a 4 year old. Let a 10 year old be a 10 year old. And teach them that it's okay to be covered up. And, when we have on our, skirts and things that they're not see through, that we put some, shorts or, something underneath, just in case, you know, a brisk wind could come through. They may want to, tumble and, all of that. I'm just saying, I don't know why this crossed my mind this morning, but it just did. And I was just like, there may be somebody out there who this didn't even cross their mind. They didn't even think about that. It is important to teach our kids how to dress appropriately, but at the same time, you're protecting your kid a little bit more from the pedophiles and the rapists and the child pornographers and all of the idiots who look at kids and think they're weak and, I can gain control and can gain power. Or they look at your child as a dollar sign, right? And they say, oh, well, I'm into sex trafficking and somebody would love to buy that little girl, or someone would love to buy that little boy, or maybe just add them to their little collection of child pornography they have on their wall in their closet or in their basement at home. And let me just add this. You don't know who those people are. It could be the deacon at the church. It could be the man at the grocery store. It could be the guy that delivers your mail from the post office. It could be, the lady that ushers at your church. You don't know who these people are. You may think that some of these people are the coolest people on the planet. You grew up with them. You went to school with them. You go to church with them. You do all of these things. He's been my friend for 15 years. And you have no idea of the secrets that they keep. Just think about that. Have you ever thought about that? Whether you have kids or not. And if you are the pedophile, or if you are the rapist, or if you are the person that collects child pornography, there's a special place in hell for you. You better get yourself together and cut the foolishness out. Because one day you may run across somebody like me who does not play about her grandkids, and I will not care. I will not care. I didn't care when I was raising my daughter. I will chop your head off. And I will not care today, because those girls are my life. And everybody who has a parent or a grandparent or a niece or a nephew, you got grandkids, whatever your title is or whatever you have, you know what I mean. If you love the children that are in your life, you know exactly what I mean and exactly how I feel. If you aspire to have children, you know exactly what's coming, because there are videos just like this out there all over the internet that are teaching and warning. And this stuff is not going to get better. It's not going to get better. It just so happens that we have the internet, and the internet brings awareness. Something that I didn't have when I was growing up as a kid. All we had was like the newspaper, in the news. I think my parents used to watch 31 and, 48, WAFF. But now we have social media. And we see how bad things really are. So I'm just saying, take a little extra time and teach your kids how to dress appropriately. Teach them what to say to strangers so they don't get abducted. Teach them to run away from strangers. if they feel uncomfortable. There are all different types of things that you can do. You can put them in self-defense classes. There are just so many things that we can do as parents and grandparents and nieces and aunts and uncles and nephews. You know, it's not going to stop the predators. You know, we just we just want to be able to protect. You know what I'm saying?